Hello, this video brought to you by Sankran. Visualforce Beyond Basics. Cascade Action Functions. Action functions, as we see in previous posts, is nothing but a function called in server side after the page load. It could be from button or it could be from action support or action polar or a action function definition in JavaScript. So it could be anything. Why do we need to cascade action functions? I've seen many developers puts lot of logic in the single action function, and over a time it's very difficult to maintain, and it's not a good practice in programming sense as well, because you need to have a multiple action function, and it should be called consequently depending on different conditions rather than putting everything inside one action function. But there is there is no documented way of cascading different action functions. For example, when you click a button, for example command button, then on completion you can call a JavaScript, or on completion you can render different sections of page. That is possible, but you can't on completion you can't directly call a different action function. There is no standard way, but there is a pattern to do that. Let's see how to do that. But the main advantage is code maintenance in server side. You could have a proper smaller function action functions rather than the big action functions. Let's see how it works. For example, see, in the class I have yeah, action for button action function, and then separate action function message for even or odd. For example, for just for illustration, we are going to check the day. The current day is even or odd. Simple use case, but let's see how it works by cascading action function. This is the button. When the button gets clicked, it calls the action for button, and then while doing it, it actually assigns next action name as this one. So it's put after I get called, please call this function. So it's actually passing the next function name into next action name. So that's how it works. So if you have 10 functions, each function should pass a value to next action name, mentioning what should be called next. By this pattern, you can have any number of calls one after another. So after that, this section gets rendered, and which is nothing but action function and its invocation. So here we are calling the actual function message for even or add, which actually renders user message after it's completed. So that's how. So on executing, how it works is when the page initiate, nothing happens. Then when you click this button, then it goes there, go to server and come back, and then it renders the action function here, and then that gets called, and that will return back, then that will re-render the action message. So it's two calls happens when I click a button. Let's see, today's date is odd. So so then you could do like that for any number of action functions. In my experience, I have done this for so many different use cases, like multiple use cases. For example, one action takes a bit of a workflow, and then after completing that, either depending on the condition, I call this action function or that action function, and that gets called so many times. So by doing that, you can cherry pick which action function to call rather than putting everything into server side. So this gives a lot of flexibility, and you could also use in your program in your projects. Don't forget to like this video and provide your comments or feedbacks below. If you like this video and want to share with friends, please share them, and if you want to notify about my future videos, please subscribe below. Thank you.